Hi, my name is Joanie Eisinger. Welcome to my channel. If you'd like to find out more about Joanie Eisinger, please go to my website, jonieswhitelightshealing.com. If you'd like to schedule a session, please contact me through my website. I do Skype, Facebook video, FaceTime video, and phone sessions for those who are not local to North Central New Jersey. You could find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and SoundCloud. If you'd like to friend me, just message me and tell me how you found me because I don't friend strangers. There are no timestamps on this, as Spirit knows when you are going to be watching. So if you watch it any day past May 7 of 2020, it's sure fine. If something resonates, great. If it doesn't, I suggest putting it on the shelf because your spirit, your person, you might resonate with it on another date. I bring in the highest of Christ-like consciousness, meaning the ones that are way wise. I don't bring in any trainees or lower vibrations. So with that being said, I do this because I have that light worker sense of urgency and I must do this. This is my job. I do this to assist with the awakening. I got a request. I received a request from someone who wanted to know terms. Terms like energy worker, light worker, what's the difference? And I just started having a lot of fun with this. So I started brainstorming about terms and I wrote them down. So I've got a little bit of a cheat sheet over here and I only looked up one term. But aside from that, I came up with a whole bunch and there are still more that I'm not going to speak of because I don't know as much about them. They're legit, but I just don't want to speak at all about something that I can't back up. So the first thing I want to talk about is a light worker. I believe that a light worker is someone who is holding divine wisdom and incarnates into a life in order to spread this information, this high vibration to other souls, to assist in awakening them, raising their vibration, moving them along their spiritual path. Well, there are many, many types of light workers. There are ones that are incarnated angels, and they come from the Devic realm, D-E-V-I-C, and they incarnate into bodies, and they assist in their specific way. Many angels give and give and give, and they're very, very heart-centered. I found that many incarnated angels are teachers and nurses and therapists. Oftentimes, when I work with incarnated angels, they have drinking and drug problems because they are numbing their pain. They are so upset about humanity and how people are at such a low vibration, and they've been misunderstood and they've given more than they probably need to. There's a lot of codependency among them. That their wings are tattered. I see a lot of wings that are broken and tattered. So oftentimes when I identify someone who's an incarnated angel, I ask them whether they have some type of a feeling, a pain, a pressure, or something in the back of below their neck and between their shoulder blades. And 99% they say yes. And then I say, those are your wings. Happens every time. And 2 times people have said that right back there, they have a tattoo of angel wings. We also have the elementals. The elementals incarnate into human bodies, and they are from the elemental realm or the earth kingdom. So we have the little ones. We have the sprites and the gnomes and the leprechauns and the brownies and the elves and the fairies. And it's a beautiful set of folks. They tend to the earth, they do clearing, they support us, they love us very much. And the fairy realm, the fae, they assist with the awakening of humanity in a very special way. They each have their own type of personality. They're very delicate. If you are finding mushrooms, don't kick them over because there are leprechauns that live underneath. And I just wanted to say that. And then there are folks that work closely with the elementals, and they oftentimes play tricks on them and they hide things. So you might find that your spools of thread are gone, different things like that, and then they show up in different places. The elementals, they love us very much. They're here to tend to the earth, as Mother Earth or Gaia needs little critters around to assist. Now we also have the star beings. The star beings are from other galaxies, other planets. Now, I address the ones that are positive, that assist Earth in its awakening. I do not discuss the negative ETs. Star beings are from systems such as Arcturus and Sirius, the Pleiades, Lyra, Vega, Alpha Centauri, Andromeda. There are many. I am from Arcturus and I speak Pleiadian and Sirian. So you might have also heard the term starseeds. Starseeds are those that are incarnated on Earth. So a star being is one that is a starseed. I believe it's interchangeable. Each star system has a different way, a different focus. The Pleiadians seem to be quite tall, and they're very human-like, quite like humans with a sense of humor, and just very human from what I've felt. And the Andromedans also, I believe so. There's more of a seriousness, a little bit of that. And the Arcturians also have a little bit more of the scientific bend. But that's all that I can really say about that. That you'd have to look up specifically about the different star systems and how they roll. The star beings come in with their sci-fi technology, their ways of healing, their ways of teaching humanity. Okay, so I'm going to go back and see. Okay, so I've gotten to the types of light workers. Now I'm going to break down. So for those star beings and elementals and angels, we also have consciousnesses, and I'll say a little bit about that. You can have a collective, which is a group of souls that can come into a body and work as one. A collective, you could also have a consciousness, which is a construct that can embody a person. I don't see that very often. It's quite rare, but you can have a consciousness or a collective embody a soul. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the different roles that a light worker can play here on Earth. Okay, so I've gone over starseed and star being and light worker. So an energy worker. An energy worker, which is different from a light worker. An energy worker is one that is a type of healer, and they are using their divine senses along with possible gifting of abilities and or training through workshops and apprenticeship to assist in shifting a person's energy field, which could be the aura, it could be the chakras, it could be the light body, it could be clearing energy, balancing, DNA activation, it could be performing upgrades, psychic surgery, and giving downloads through codes, any and all of the above. So an energy worker is a type of healer that is using light, which is love, frequency in a gazillion type of forms to help assist another person. And I highly suggest that if you go to an energy worker, that you go by word of mouth, or you ask a sure lot of questions, because when someone is playing with your energy, if they don't know what they're doing, they could harm you. Okay. People that are holding space. So there might be a person who is a light worker that is offering their talent by way of maintaining sacred space for something to happen. So let's say my friend is doing a healing and I wish to keep that environment stable and pure and supported by the earth and divinity. I can hold the space, and it's with intention. Some people do know how to do this and others don't. Some people don't necessarily think about it. Just by their mere vibration, they are allowing, in a way, like a conduit for other work to be done. We can, even as a group, intend to hold the space for folks to heal, for work to be done, for people to calm down. And also, if people have any questions after this video, please ask below. Also, holding the light. That's a little bit different from holding space. Holding the light or maintaining the light is where your vibration, your frequency signature as a light worker, which would be high, is vibrating out. And when you vibrate and hold the light, maintaining that light, you are offering others around you the opportunity to raise their vibration. You do it by role modeling, but it's more so by being. So some people might pick up on it and see that you are, in fact, peaceful and serene. But usually holding the light is where just your mere incarnation, your being, is assisting others in raising their vibration. And it does. It doesn't mean they're going to change, even if it lifts it just a little bit. You're being of service in that way. And you don't have to know if someone has changed. You just be. Trust that your work that you've done here and in other lifetimes is assisting many, many, many souls. I go in and I will identify what a person's doing. And oftentimes I'm identifying that they're holding the light, maintaining that place, that light could be reverbing out over a 2 to 5 mile radius from where they are at all times. There's a book by Hawkins called Power versus Force, and I recommend that folks read it. It is not the atheist man that was in the wheelchair that recently died that didn't believe in God. It was the other Hawkins, Hawkins, and the name of the book is Power versus Force. And there you'll understand a bit more about frequency. Okay. Now we have empaths. There are many people who are very overwhelmed by other people's situations, and they say, I feel I picked up on something. I was at work today and I came home. There was so much arguing and I can't take it. Or my kids, they're being bullied and I'm falling apart. Or they're nurses and they're just falling apart. Or they hear something in the news and they are falling apart. There's a lot of that I hear. As a healer, I'm there to assist them in setting boundaries or clearing them or finding if there are any holes where negative energies might be getting in to cause an imbalance in their work that they do. An empath is a soul that is feeling via clairsentience. CLAIRSENTIENCE. The divine feeling through the senses, and they are jumping into another's shoes, feeling their feelings, having the feelings come in and feeling that for them. Oftentimes empaths, when they are feeling others' pain, their situations, they're also transmuting them, which is another term. Transmutation is where you take the feelings, the lower vibrational feelings that you've picked up on, you bring them in to your heart, and then you send them home to the light. So you, as an empath, you are doing a form of healing, and you might not even be knowing it. But what's important to know as an empath is that you need to know where you end and another begins. You have to put the oxygen mask on yourself first before another comes along. And you need to know that there are enough of us light workers out there that if you choose not to try and help every single person that comes your way, they will be fine. It's very important to know that. And you are, as an empath, are not there to save them. You are there to assist if you want, if you can. But a person saves themselves. Okay. Healers. Healers are people, I mentioned it before, but healers, I had mentioned energy workers. So an energy worker is one that is working. It could be Reiki, it could be hands-on healing, could be, they're all different trademarked ones. Donna Eden's type, Barbara Ann Brennan's type. They're all different types of healers that work in the energetic realm, but you also have healers that might be using tuning forks, which again, it's energy. But I guess there's probably a Venn diagram, energy workers and healers with a bit of an in-between crossover. So someone might be shouting at the screen saying, she's screwing it all up. You don't know the difference between an energy worker and a healer. Healing comes in so many forms. Could come in the form of food, color, music, flowers, plants, crystals, animals, crystal beds, tinctures, dirigidoos, dowsing, oil diffusion, goes on. Everything breaks down into energy. Food does, everything does, but specifically an energy healer is working with one's energy field and bringing in light and working and manipulating that away. But I guess I would say that I wouldn't say that an energy healer is the flower essence person. So you'll have to do that work yourself. Everything ultimately is energy. Yet an energy healer is usually, they could be dealing with the beamer machine, that's energy, or a Rife machine, or a cold laser machine, or red laser. It goes on and on. I'll leave you with that. Okay. And also a healer is here to assist a person move from a stuck place to unstuckness, to raise their vibration, to work through issues on mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual level. Psychics and intuitives. A psychic is one that is using their clairs, their divine senses. So someone who is psychic could have clairsentience, which is divine feeling, claircognizance, which is divine knowing, clairaudience, which is divine hearing, clairgustance, which is divine taste, clairsalience, which is divine smell, and clairvoyance, which is divine seeing. I think I've got them all. Could be any one or all of the above. It could be a mishmash. Some people have one, some people have a few, some people have all. Okay. And a psychic is someone who is pulling from other realms. Now, is a psychic always pulling from high vibration? Not at all. There are many psychics that don't even know that they're pulling from lower energies. I will tell you that if you hear anything that's negative, erase and delete. There are ones that are scammers, sociopaths, and the most money that I've ever heard someone give another person to take negative energies off as a scam was $33,000. So I suggest that if you do go see a psychic, that you go word of mouth. What I believe that an intuitive is someone that has a knowing, but they're not necessarily channeling. They haven't formally come to that where they say, I know for sure. Now, they might be saying they know for sure, but in my, I take that back. The intuitives might get angry at me. I guess I would ask an intuitive why they're saying they're not psychic. If they're not using it because they don't like the term, that's different. But many intuitives, it's a gut feeling, but they're not necessarily having the live stream come through. And I would say to any intuitives that if they in fact are getting live stream, that they could go straight to saying that they are psychics, because intuition is different from, I believe, from the 6 divine clairs. And I think that in terms of professionalizing this field, if you got that, honey, bring it on. The intuition is just, it sounds more like a hunch. And if you've got a knowing with a capital K, bring it on home. You are psychic. You are a channel. And I also would say that a channel is someone that is bringing in information via automatic writing and via speaking. So you could be psychic, but you aren't necessarily a channel. So if you are clairsentient, where you have the feeling, if you have the knowing, I take that back. This is a work in progress, folks. Channeling is when you're bringing the information through from the other side, speaking or writing. I'll leave it at that. Way showers. I had to look up that term, folks. I've used it casually, where I have said that people are way showers in that they are walking the walk. They're just being that love bug. So I went to take a look and see what someone had written about that. And I got role modeling the highest version of themselves to inspire others to do the same. So that is more of a clear definition of what a way shower is. So there are many people that are wise, old souls, and they come in and they are being and they are doing, they are going about their day, and they are showing others this is the way to walk in the light. Walk in truth and love. Okay. A grid worker. Now, this is not where I'm as versed, but I thought I would bring it up. There's an energetic grid around the earth, and there is also an energetic grid that's like written in the earth. They're called ley lines. So there are energetic lines that crisscross, and there are vortices, and there are meridians where there are power places. Pyramids have been placed on them, and there are like Niagara Falls and canyons, and there are and volcanoes and mountains that have very powerful energetic purposes, and that's the design of this earth. Grid workers, I would say that they are souls that are working on a higher level to assist in the maintenance of the energetic grid, the mesh that holds this planet's energy force together. There are souls that are not aware that they are grid workers. When I go in, I tell them that. And then there are also ones that very openly say that they are working on the grid. They know exactly how to do it. It is fantabulous. We have gatekeepers. I will give my best shot at a gatekeeper. So I believe that there are entries to temples and high places that require special admission into them. For example, the Akashic records. The Akashic records, I say, is like the library of where everything has been recorded in creation. And there are gatekeepers there that maintain the records, and they determine who enters. Gatekeepers also, there are ones that aren't aware of the fact that they are, and then there are the ones that very clearly are. I did a session for someone years ago who I learned was a soul hospital, that they embodied that of a soul hospital, and that souls from creation came through them, resided, did healing, and left. That was just absolutely amazing. I adored learning that. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Let's see. Okay. A seeker. I would say that a seeker is one that, I think it speaks for itself. A seeker is one that is looking for truth, and that I remember for a lot of my early childhood, there was a voice inside saying, I must know truth. I must know truth. Had no idea what that meant, and now I do. So a seeker is looking for more. A seeker is a soul that is looking to improve themselves, to advance, to grow. And that many light workers are seekers as well, because they did their part in order to get to where they are. Now, there are light workers that are born as such, so they might not identify that way. But many, many light workers were searching and then found what they were looking for. Some, it came out of a dark night of the soul, and then they came into being who they are with their wokedom. But a seeker is searching for more, to raise their vibration, to gain more spiritual growth opportunities. A connector. I laugh at this. When I was spiritually awakening, I met some friends. They're my friends now. And they said, oh, I need for you to meet such and such. Oh my God, you'd be great over there. Oh, we got to get the two of you together. Why don't we do this? And we'll have a whole bunch of... And I said, you're a connector. And what cracks me up is that over the past bunch of years, I've seen the term being put in writing. And I've also heard people share self-admission. I'm a connector. So it is a light worker term. Those light workers, they can't help themselves. They so enjoy pairing people up. They are event coordinators, festival coordinators. They will have a workshop where there's a panel. They will just introduce people to each other in order to get excitement going, to make the work exponential. Connectors are almost like party people, but they're not necessarily. They just are fabulous at seeing who matches and getting the two of them or more together. Wanted to talk about this one. I forgot, so I'm going to bring this up. I was talking about the types of souls that come into human bodies. And I talked about the star beings and the elementals, the angels and the consciousnesses and the collectives. But I wanted to talk about old souls. There are souls that come in with such wisdom. They're humans that just keep coming back. And you could be an old soul that is a star being or an angel, but the old soul is one that has resided on earth so many times, they've got that wisdom packed in. Many of you know an old soul, and you might feel that you are, where you come in and it's a been there, done that. Why can't everyone just get along? And will you catch up already? I'm waiting. And the last that I'd like to talk about is a pretty cool type of soul. And I learned this when I read Earth Angels by Doreen Virtue. I believe it was that book and not her follow-up. It was like one of these smaller paperbacks. And it is the braided, blended, or twinned soul. Now, a twinned soul is different from a twin flame. That is not a lover romantic twin soul. A braided, blended, or twin soul is someone who comes into a body, but they're more than one soul. And they are a combination. And there are different reasons why that might happen. And I've identified at least 2, maybe 3 in my 10 years of doing this professionally. And it's very exciting. And that people sometimes don't understand why they either are moody or why they have 2 sides of the coin. You might know that you're a twin soul. It's when there are 2 souls that decide to come together and be in the same body. In one case, I did a reading for someone where it was pre-birth planned that 2 would come in as 1. And in another session, I read for someone that their sister died, and then they decided to join them and work in tandem with them, not channeling with them out here, but coming in and residing in there. So there's also yet another type of soul that comes into a human body to assist, and that's the walk-in. Now, I do know someone who discusses walk-ins in terms of negative energy, but I'm going to speak of the positive type of walk-in. And that's where a person might have been in a car accident, or they might have tried to kill themselves, or had a near-death experience, and that there's an agreement that's made either right beforehand or during that death experience, the near-death experience, where they've had it and they're done. And it could be that their contract is over, or they really don't want to continue, and they make an agreement, a contract with another soul to come in their stead. And it could be that the person wakes up from a bad trip, or there was a surgery or a car accident, and there is a new soul that is there, and they pick up where you left off. It's a very exciting type of an arrangement, very unique and very powerful. And I support those souls who have chosen to leave. It does not mean that they've given up or they've copped out. It's not a failure. It's a beautiful divine agreement that they did it. It's done. And it's time for another to come in their place. So with all of that being said, I know it was a mouthful with a lot of terms, but I thought I would throw all that out there for today. And I hope that you enjoyed this. Please like and share if you are so moved. Comment below. I love to hear the comments. And if you have any questions, please ask. And if I screwed up with anything, if you feel that it's just so off, or if you'd like to add to it. I don't think I screwed up, but if you'd like to add to it, I'd love to hear what you have to say to make it even richer. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and press the bell all icon. You'll receive the notifications of whenever I make another video. So have a fantastic day, and I'll see you again. Bye, y'all.